You know something? I promised you last week when we was covering Predator versus Black Panther #1 that we're gonna come back stronger with Aliens versus Avengers, and that's why I'm here. Yo, roll that intro, cuss. Yeah. What's going on, Geek Corner members? This is your boy Earth Mac, the Mad Scientist, and this is the Orange Phoenix Show, comic book declassified, where we talk about the most recent comics, the past comics, and even character bios, if you ask for it. And welcome to the Orange Phoenix Media channel. But honestly, we talk about all things of geek culture, whether it's comic books, anime, manga, video games, pro wrestling, you name it, we nerd it. Now, before I even go further into our housekeeping, I want to publicly thank the now, as of this recording, 299 subscribers. Thank you guys for supporting us, okay? Now, to anybody else, that might not be such a significant number, but it's a significant number to us because that lets us know that we are doing something really special for you guys. I appreciate all the likes, I appreciate all the subscriptions, and we do need more subscribers, so spread the word. Go ahead and hit that share button whenever you see any of our videos posted. Now, we do have a Discord, which is free 99, where we have multiple channels for multiple interests in geekdom, and we also have a bi-monthly digital magazine in our Patreon. If you want to support the Patreon, you're free to do so, because in that Patreon, for only $5 a month, you have access to the magazine and the most recent issue, as well as these videos before it ever gets aired on YouTube. But again, thank you to all the subscribers. By the time I post this, it might be even more subscribers. We're going to hit that over 300 range. We're going to 500. We're going to 1,000. We're going to get up there, y'all. But you might want to check this out. Aliens versus Avengers. Stick around to the end of this video, because obviously you're going to see, if you miss any of our past videos, you can check that out. There's a link at the end of this video. Now, Aliens versus Avengers. Let's get to it. So here's the thing. In reality, the xenomorphs would have been annihilated by the Marvel Universe as we know it to be. But this story takes a different approach, with the timeline being set in a much distant future. Now, the story starts off with a Kree member being experimented on by having a face hugger impregnating him for xenomorph birth. Later, we are introduced to Black Panther and his son, Azari. See what I'm talking about? Far distant future here. Now, with the Wakandan spaceship along with troops, they are investigating this anomaly, only to be met by xenomorphs, only for Azari, T'Challa's son, to make quick work of them boys. Now, Black Panther talks to android responsible for the xenomorphs on that ship and takes him out and takes the head. Now, needless to say, this Black Panther has no qualms about taking a life, even though if it's an android, considering the circumstances. Now, this takes place in the past, where the invasion just reached Earth and the infestation is rapid. Just remember, all it takes is one xenomorph to lay eggs, and it is a wrap, son. We're talking cities and countries get taken over, and the first major hero city to fall is Attilan, home of the Inhumans. Now, this is no shade toward the Inhumans, but they're low tier compared to the grander scheme of things. Let me just be honest. Now, the next people to fall is the Atlanteans, so much that you couldn't hear the screams underwater. Wakanda was the next one, but it stood its ground longer than most other major cities, but they fell as well because they couldn't hold it up as much longer. Now, here is the most intriguing thing to me. The mutants of Krakoa fled through a portal to Mars, and only one mutant stayed behind, and that mutant is the first mutant, and that mutant is Apocalypse. It was said that Apocalypse, the first mutant, would stay and surrender nothing, for the world had now become the arena he always wanted. Apocalypse will fight, and if he lives, he lives. If he dies, he dies. So be it. Only the fittest survive. Let me tell you something. That is one of the hardest lines in this issue right here, because Apocalypse just said, yo, you mofos can leave, y'all can flee to Mars. I'm cool with that, but do y'all know who I am? Do y'all know my name? My name is Apocalypse. I live for this shit. I'm visually seeing the apocalypse happen right in front of me. And you mean to tell me I'm not gonna fight? Who do y'all think I am? This man wanted all the smoke. And that right there is hardcore to me. Now, we don't know what happens with Apocalypse. We don't know if he's lived or if he died. But one thing's for sure, it remains to be seen. As we further go along, there is one building that stands tall, and to no surprise, it's the Weyland-Yutani building, and that is where Weyland stays along with an elderly Bruce Banner and Carol Danvers. Now, Bruce and Carol have this conversation where Bruce reveals that the Fantastic Four is no more, with Johnny and Susan Storm dying, with Reed Richards died on his deathbed. Ben Grimm and Franklin Richards are nowhere to be found. So we don't know if they're living or dead. But Reed has a daughter as well named Valeria that hasn't come back from a mission that she is on. Now, what we have to understand here is that the Avengers are the main players here and not the entire Marvel universe. And they are deliberately put in a dire situation, you know, for the sake of the comic and for the sake of the story. Bruce goes on to say, they say this is the last human city on planet Earth, but we're weeks, maybe less, from falling. This isn't a city, Carol. It's a tomb. And Carol responds, you think I don't see what's in front of me? In my years of doing what we do, I have maintained my discipline. I was trained to never lose control. But when the monsters finally break through, when the city falls, I'm going to let all that go. I'm going to draw in as much energy as I can beyond binary, beyond what I can contain. I'm just going to surrender to it. This won't be a tomb, Bruce. It will be a pyre. So you see even more of the situation that is going on here. Like, they are willing to fight to the bitter end. That is Carol. Bruce is like, hey man, I'm ready to dip too, but this is the last surviving city. So, I mean, there's a little bit of a conflict there. Carol gets the signal and flies towards Valeria along with Hulk to save her and help no other than Miles Morales. To see an adult Miles Morales here is dope. Just by some of his dialogue, you can tell he is a seasoned vet at this point. The unique father-daughter dynamic between Valeria and Bruce is hilarious, with Hulk yelling, young lady, you're late. And Valeria responds, Bruce, I'm a 45-year-old woman who's been divorced twice because, and I quote, relationships are for people who are aware of and acknowledge the needs of others. You know what's funny? Like, her attitude is very, very similar to Reed Richards, because Valeria wants to steal the xenomorph egg. And Valeria reveals that magic and science were used to try to combat the alien threat, but it didn't work. And I can't see why it wouldn't, because I never known xenomorphs to be invincible to magic. But I digress. Back to the bleak reality. Valeria has a plan to eliminate the alien infestation to create a virus to essentially kill the eggs. She then asked the team to leave so she can work alone. Now, if anything, again, that goes back to, you see Valeria is her father's daughter, because you see her burying herself in research and working alone. Now, the dialogue between Weyland and Bruce is a unique one because it drives it even harder home of this last-ditch effort to save the Earth. And then he goes on to say, do we stay and fight the good fight, or do we save what's left of us and run for our lives? Valeria Richards will have a say in that. It seems. So will you. Bruce responds, I thought she wasn't going to make it back. Just so you know, I would have blamed you for talking me into letting her go. Understand? I would have been very angry with you. Weyland responds, but she came back, didn't she, Bruce? You believe everyone but you is weak, but we are all made of sterner stuff than you think. It's not our skin, the outer shell, that defines a person. Later, Bruce goes to visit Valeria only for access to be denied. Bruce gets a hologram message from Valeria and she says, hey, Uncle Bruce, if you've seen the recording, I'm sorry, but you can't come in. I wanted to do this, defeat them, win once and for all. I just ran out of time. My plan worked. Well, it was working. I used a light bender based on my mom's powers, and I walked right into the hive. I isolated and grabbed an egg and slowly started backing out. It worked, Bruce. I would have succeeded, gotten away, but then I tripped over something, and then they were all over me. I remember choking and darkness, and then waking up and knowing something was inside of me. I tripped one stupid mistake, and it killed me. But I swore that before I died, I would find a way to kill every one of them. But I ran out of time. I can't feel it now, inside of me. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Bruce rips open the door, only to be attacked by a xenomorph drone, which is not a contest against the Hulk. Considering that acid blood is only a bee sting to the Hulk, Bruce sees that Valeria died from a chest burster wound, but there is literally no time to mourn because suddenly a face hugger appears and latches itself to Miles Morales. Hulk explains that it's too late because any attempt of removal would instantly kill Miles. But something interesting happens here. The face hugger is a symbiote and bonds with Miles. And that's our episode for today. Do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell. I hope you guys enjoy Aliens versus Avengers. If you missed our Predator versus Black Panther video, go ahead and check that out and all the other videos that we do have. So until next time, y'all, peace.